Hello my friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. So I'm here for hashtag December Crafts 2022. And this is crafty week number 3, but we have 5 Fridays in December, so we get one more next week. But this week's prompt is making a list or make a list. For example, movies you watch or plan to watch, Christmas movies or whatever. Maybe you have some traditions that you've never written down for your family to keep for all time. Let's see, what else? Gifts. Maybe you need to make a list of gifts you've bought so that you can make sure you wrapped everything or get everything wrapped before the next couple of days are up and we have Christmases here. Maybe you need to write down a menu plan, or maybe you just want to write down meal ideas, Christmas meal ideas for future Christmases. Maybe you want to write down other things that have to do with other holidays, or maybe you want to make a goal list or a list for 2023 of things to do with whatever you want to do in 2023, travel plans, anything. It can be anything. So that's what this week is all about, lists. And we decided to do that for this week because I'm doing a December journal, and I think that Susan is doing a December daily, possibly. I don't remember exactly. But, and you don't have to be doing it a December journal to make your list. You can make your list and keep it wherever you keep your list, right? Maybe you have a planner. So I have my 2021 December daily here, and I have this year's journal. It's quite a bit smaller and simpler because I'm not doing it daily. Last year I made a point of doing something every day, and sometimes I did a two-page spread for a day. So that's why last year's was so chunky. And in previous years that I've done in my December daily, they're much chunkier. But I'm kind of in a mode where I'm simplifying my life. And so I thought, not doing a video every day would be fun. And I really have found it enjoyable. And the way I'm doing it this year, so I'm probably going to keep up this every year. And so my list, I wanted to show you, I kind of was experimenting. Let me show you what I did last year to show you an example. Let's start with the back, because this is where I put my goal list. I just had this little printout that I had extra from a digital kit from a couple years ago, and it's just a fold in half list here. That piece of paper. This is a printout. And inside, I coffee dyed these, and I don't really want to show you because maybe you already saw it, but it's a goal list for myself. It was for this year, 2022, and I wrote it down at the end of 2021, and I can't believe it. I actually made, I think I did everything. I've never done this before, where I have actually reached all my goals. Because at first I was like, oh, I didn't do that one. But then I thought about it, I was like, oh, I did do that. You know what I mean? So it really was neat to go back and see my goals. So I'm definitely doing a goal list to put in the end of my December journal for this year, for next year. You know what I mean? So let me see. What else did I do? I know I did a list of, I talked about how I wrote down about, more about my goals, just a little bit of, kind of wrote a whole paragraph, like a little story about it, about my goals. Okay, that was just what we did on New Year's Eve. But what I did was write down, I made a little tag for each family member, my 2 boys, my daughter-in-law, my future daughter-in-law, Riley, my granddaughter, even though she was only 1 last year, my husband, and my mom and dad. And I made a tag for each one. So this is kind of like in a list kind of category that this could give you ideas for a list you could make. So on each tag I wrote down the person's name, I wrote down their birth date, their age last year in 2021, color of hair, their job, location, where they live right then in 2021, yes, what pets they have, hobbies, favorite color, favorite candy, favorite food, and how they're related to me. So, like son, whatever, you know. So, dad, whatever. So, anyway, yeah. And so I found that information very useful because, well, I didn't realize that we all had the same favorite food except for one person. And, well, my mom and dad, did they give me a favorite food? They just, you know, they're in their mid 80s and they gave me their favorite food as like probably something like healthy food. That's their favorite food, healthy food. And so my mom and dad didn't really give me a favorite food specifically. So everybody else gave me a specific favorite food. So out of the people that gave me specific favorite food, they all gave me the same food except for my husband gave me a different food. He's the only one that had something different. And then I wrote down their favorite candy. My parents, of course, like they don't eat candy, so they didn't give me a favorite candy. But isn't that funny? But everybody else gave me a favorite candy, and so I found it very useful because I kind of remembered some, and I kind of didn't remember some, and I wanted to get some candy for their stockings this year. You know, just a little. You know how they had the little dollar bags at, or now they're $1.25 if you can find them at Dollar Tree. I found some at Dollar General for $1, and then I found, like, I couldn't find them all in the same spot. It's crazy, but yeah, I only needed a few different kinds, but I couldn't find them all in the same spot, so I found them at Dollar General, Family Dollar, and Dollar Tree. Walmart doesn't really have dollar bags of candy, I don't think. Like as far as like Snickers and you know, Hershey's Kisses, things like that is what I was looking for. So anyway, I found the dollar at Dollar General and everything else was $1.25 at Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. All that over the candy, right? But anyway, I found that this kind of list that I made last year, very handy to go back and look. And let's see, I made a list, let me see. I know I made a list. I don't know if it was this one or the year before this. I made a list of movies and favorite songs and just things like that. I'm not seeing any more lists right offhand, but just to give you an idea. Maybe you can make a list of favorite traditions, you know, just for your future descendants to go back and look at. Oh, yeah, we used to do that. We should try to, you know, we should do that. I forgot all about that tradition. You know, traditions. So, yeah, I think that's all I can find right now from last year. So this year I'm making a list, but what I kind of was, like I showed you, I just used a little printable that I had an extra one, and it was no lines, just coffee dye, and I just wrote down inside. So what I did this year, I wanted to experiment a little bit with, this is coffee dyed paper. I've never done this before, but I took it up to my printer, which is upstairs, and I printed lines on it. And doesn't that look cool? I didn't really want them that close together, but see, it's just coffee dyed paper. This is blank over here, and this is the lines. So isn't that cool? I did it in Word, Microsoft Word, so you can just, you know, I created a chart and told it to make lines and to take away the borders. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know, and I will be glad to maybe do a separate video. I'm not even an expert on it or anything. I just figured I use Word, so I'm pretty handy and with Word, Microsoft Word or Word Perfect. Both I can do it in. And so I just fooled around with it and took away the borders. And then so I did this one first as an experiment. And then I did this one right here, which is on scrapbook paper. I wanted to use papery. This is not cardstock. So see, I got a piece of my papery scrapbook paper out. Since these lines were so close together, I spaced out the lines a little more on this one. It actually printed only, I don't know why, see, it printed this whole sheet. And then, see, I have to experiment a little more. And then I printed this one thinking I spaced it out more, but then it only printed up to here. And I ended up with like double lines right here, which I think is actually pretty cool. And then I made it, you know, made more lines and put it through again so the whole page would be covered with lines. But this is just, you know, scrapbook paper, one-sided, papery, not cardstock. You could do it on cardstock, but I just wanted to do it on papery paper, papery scrapbook paper. And so you have pretty over here, and Then you have lines over here. So now I can cut this up. This is the scrap from it. I tried to print on here and it didn't. It just wouldn't work through my printer. Just trying to print on this one piece of paper. It just wanted to, go off in its own direction and not be straight and stuff. So I gave up on that. But now I can cut this up if I want. It's not that I don't have any lined paper, or I don't even need lined paper. I just wanted to show you, just to, have a little fun. Like I have all these notepads, which I recently just showed you in my Thrifty Thursday that I picked up at Walmart. And so, of course I can, if you like lines, you can write your list on your lined little notepads. I'm sure you all have some too. And then this I could cut up. I'm going to cut it in half. Let me see. Half's kind of too big. Let me just cut it in like 3. I'm just picturing about the size of those notepads I just showed you. So let me cut it in 3 pieces and see what it looks like. They're going to be long, narrow list, kind of like list paper. So like that. So if you want to have a really long, narrow list you want to write, or I think what I would actually do now, like you could do this for your journals, to make little note paper. If you wanted to make note paper, of course you don't have to. You can buy it from Walmart or Dollar Tree or whatever. But I mean, this is just kind of fun to see what you can do with your scrapbook paper and just make little note paper size and pieces of paper like this with lines on the back of your white one-sided paper. So here's what it looks like. There's a butterfly on this one. See, isn't it cute? It got wrinkled in the printer because it was a brand new piece of paper. But see, you got your pretty on this side and your lines. Here's some smaller ones. I think they're cute and fun, and you could round the corners. Let's see what that looks like if you wanted to round the corners and just, and you could even decorate them, right? Put some stickers on here, or, ephemera type die cuts, or whatever you want to do. A little stamp, rubber stamp. You could stamp on the top notes if you have a rubber stamp that says notes, or whatever, anything like that. Whatever word you might journal, or adventure, whatever words you have. So isn't that cute? Here's the squared off one. Here's the rounded corners. So I really like that. Now this one's a little wider. Let's cut this one into like journal card size. Let's try that and see what that looks like. So like 2 by, well, that's probably like 3 by 3 or something like that. And this will be a little bit bigger, like 3 by 4. So those are nice, right? And journal card, a lot of journal cards, or most journal cards, are rounded corners. So these are papery journal cards with lines on scrapbook paper. So I think that's kind of fun, and it would be fun to decorate these a little bit too, even if you just put one little sticker on. But look how pretty that is with the flowers. And it was just, I really do like the rounded corners though, don't you? Let's round these corners too. So I'm going to make my goal list for next year, and really I put some pretty hefty goals on my list for last year. And if you don't like goals, you don't have to call them goals. I don't know. I like to make goals because I kind of like now I like to go back, and it's so exciting that I actually reached all my goals. I really couldn't believe it when I just now looked at it. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I reached all my goals. So it's really, I find it really satisfying. But if in years past I haven't reached all my goals, so I just took the ones I didn't reach and transferred them to the next year. You don't have to put any kind of stress on yourself just because you're saying the word goal. You don't have to, put stress on yourself if you don't reach them. Just, put it on the next year or the next week or the next month or whatever you want to do. It's not a big deal, really. So, yeah, I'm going to write down my goals, and I only, continuing on the same kind of thing I was doing last year, trying to reach for this year, by the end of this year, I'm going to set, well, I'd like to set 2 goals, but I might not reach one of them. So really, I just have one goal for this year, and I can't really say what it is because it's kind of personal. You know, it doesn't really have anything to do with my YouTube and my my Etsy and all that. You know, last year I did have goals for my Etsy and of course I want to have goals for my Etsy and my, you know, I have 2 Etsy shops and I have 3 YouTube channels now. So I do have goals for them, but I'm not like stressing myself out over that. I'm just want to progress, but not like stress myself out. So I'm not going to really even write down goals. Even though I have some in my head, I don't feel the need to write them down. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to write this one main goal, which is pretty hefty. So if I reach this one, I will be ecstatic. I will be very happy. So, and if the second one, if I reach the second one this year, it will be, I don't know, it will be a miracle because the second one's kind of like a 2-year goal. Second one should really be a 2-year goal. So maybe I'll write down 1-year goal. I have 1 2-year goal. I have the second one. That's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. So, and I'm just going to tuck it into the back here. Let's see if I have a pocket back here. Not a pocket here. Let's see. I can make a pocket, of course. Yeah, I'll make a pocket or maybe clip it in the back. I'll probably just make a pocket though. Yeah, I have pockets here. This is kind of this journal I'm decorating as I go along as to what I need and picking out, you know, not going in order and just picking out. So let's see. These aren't Christmassy. I'm going to save these. I just wanted to show you what I was having fun with there. But I have these little pieces, and this is probably even though it's a little big, let me see if I have anything smaller. Here's another one here that is about that same size. This one is a little, oh, this one's even smaller. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this one because that's my goal is, so I might cover that up. I might cover this whole back up with something and then write my 1-year and my 2-year goal on here and just see how I'm doing at the end of this year. Oh, here's another little tag I can write on. Cute. That's a time card on the back there. And this is a card. This is from a Christmas card that I recycled. So, yep, I think I'm determining it's going to be this right here. I'm going to write my goals on. See? No big deal. Simple, you know. So whatever your list that you want to do, share them with us if it's not too late to join in. And if you're not on our participant list, let Susan or I know. We'll add you. And just subscribe to our channels and link our channels in your description box and show us what you're doing for list making in your December journal or December or for next year or your planner or whatever your lists are. You know, it's just the ideas are pretty much endless. So I can't wait to see what everyone else does. Thank you for watching today, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and check out the other participants. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.